You and me, let's talk about finding your own photography style today. For years, I struggled with this one question. How do I find my own style? But no matter how hard I tried, it never felt right. I felt frustrated, insecure, and impatient. Then I won the Hasselblad Masters for my photo series Modern Alpine Architecture. And I just couldn't believe it. The way I saw my own work and the way others saw it, they just didn't match up. If you're new here, my name is Albrecht Voss. I'm an architectural photographer. And this is my behind the scenes series about how I created my award-winning Hasselblad Masters project titled Enlighten. In this series, I take you through the challenges, techniques, and lessons I learned while crafting this fine art project, using a prototype of the Hasselblad X2D even before its official release. This is the first episode, so let's dive into today's topic. To stand out as a photographer in today's world, you need a recognizable style. When people see one of your images, they should instantly think, oh yeah, that's a classic Albrecht Voss. I've read this advice in countless blogs, articles, and videos. And it makes sense. When I think of my photography heroes, they all have a clear visual language and a signature style. For example, let's take portrait photographer Joey Lawrence. He creates studio-lit environmental portraits of people in foreign places. Or commercial photographer Eric Almas owns hyper-realistic composite photography. And fine art photographer Gregory Crutzen, he is known for his large format cinematic images of melancholic American suburbia. So the challenge was obvious, as it was overwhelming. I had to find my own unique style to be a successful photographer. My approach was to study my idols, analyze their work, and figure out which aspects I could incorporate into my own photography. Eric Alma's composite techniques, combined with Joey Lawrence's lighting, all blended into Gregory Crutzen's dark cinematic world. Thank God I didn't take it that far. Probably I would have created Frankenstein's monster. But studying these photographers wasn't a waste of time. It taught me technical skills, how to create a specific mood, and how to solve visual challenges, and how successful artists build their unique styles. It was a valuable education, but it didn't bring me any closer to developing my own voice. Then there's the marketing-driven myth. The Leica look will give your images character. Hasselblad's color science is the secret ingredient. And Canon skin tones will elevate your portraits to a new level. For over a decade, I read gear reviews, tested new equipment, and built a professional photography kit. Canon cameras, pro photo lighting, peak design bags. I mean, it was a great investment in my business as an architectural photographer, for sure. It gave me reliable tools that wouldn't let me down in tough conditions. But did it help me develop a signature style? Absolutely not. Then, in December 2019, COVID hit. Lockdowns, no assignments, homeschooling, you know what I'm talking about. In those months of isolation, I realized what I truly missed and valued the most. I just wanted to get out with my camera again, to lose myself in the designs of extraordinary architecture, or go back to the great outdoors for mountaineering with my oldest friend Marcus. Scrolling through my bucket list of buildings I still wanted to photograph, I noticed something. A huge number of them were located in the Alps. What a coincidence. Or probably not. I revisited the articles that originally put these buildings on my list. The combination of surreal design embedded in the majestic landscape of the high mountains was exactly what fascinated me the most. So I kept researching, mapping out more locations and eventually a route. 7 days, 7 buildings. Yes, an unrealistically packed schedule, just how I like it. Marcus was immediately on board. And as soon as the lockdowns lifted in the summer of 2020, we loaded up the car with camera gear and just enough space left to sleep and headed towards the heart of the Alps. Between Innsbruck and Bolzano, I was beyond excited, finally bringing together my three biggest passions: photography, architecture, and mountaineering. Even the fact that our first location, the Timmelsjoch Experience by architect Werner Scholl, greeted us with relentless rain couldn't bring me down. The next morning, we woke up to a fiercely red ocean of clouds, standing inside a scene straight out of a Hollywood movie. Winds whipped through the mountain pass, pushing waves of mist across the 6 buildings Werner Scholl has designed along the Timmelsjoch Pass. I shot for 18 hours straight, completely lost in the moment. No thoughts about camera gear, photography style, or social media followers. Just pure passion for the subject. For my week in the Alps, I had an overwhelming number of ideas. Since I couldn't decide on just one project, I took every approach possible, including traditional architectural photography, with interiors and exteriors for articles, just like I do for my clients. A drone series, capturing unique top-down perspective. A fine art time-lapse montage of a full 24-hour cycle of each location. A short film production highlighting one of the buildings in combination with an ultra-trail runner looking for a deeper meaning in his passion. And an experimental night photography series inspired by photographer Ruben Wu. Ruben Wu's work had been a major influence on me. Instead of using a drone to take photos, he used it as a light painting tool, illuminating landscapes in ways that I never had seen before. I wanted to apply this technique to my Alpine architecture series. But there was a problem. The Timmelsjoch Pass Museum kept disappearing into the never-ending stream of fast-moving clouds. For 4 hours that night I stood on the mountain in freezing 4 degrees Celsius temperatures and 70 kilometers per hour wind, waiting for a clear moment. LED lamps were placed around the building, my camera locked on a tripod, just waiting. Every 20 minutes or so, the clouds opened up for just a few seconds, revealing a sky filled with endless stars. And then the Milky Way stretched directly above the museum's peak. I fired a shot, filled with excitement and crushed by exhaustion. I fell into my sleeping bag before my alarm rang at 6 a.m. for the next sunrise session. If you're enjoying this video, hit that like button. It really helps me keep creating more content like this for you. And if you don't want to miss the next episode, make sure to subscribe now. That intensity defined the entire trip. From the Timmelsjoch Pass Museum to the Messner Mountain Museum by Zaha Hadid and the Lumen Museum of Mountain Photography by Gio Forma and EM2 Architects, to die Neue Schwarzensteinhütte by Stifter and Bachmann Architects, followed by 2 wineries near Bolzano from Del Agnolo Calderer Architects, and the Oberholz Restaurant by Peter Pichler, until we ended in Innsbruck at the Hungerburgbahn by Zaha Hadid again, and the Path of Perspectives by Snøhetta Architects. Every day was another climb, another challenge, another discovery. And without realizing it, I wasn't just documenting architecture. I was fully immersed in my own photographic style. With over 9,000 images from that trip, I entered the second lockdown. Every morning I spent 3 hours selecting, editing, and developing photo series. Sitting there in silence, alone with my thoughts, doubt started creeping in. Were these really my best images? Could I have composed them better, edited them differently? Were they truly strong enough to represent my vision? I mean, the images were good, but were they great? I debated for a long time whether I should submit the series to photography competitions. It was, after all, a project I had poured my heart and soul into. So what did I have to lose? Eventually, I uploaded the images to several contests, hoping for the best, but expecting nothing. In the following 12 months, the series placed in 6 different international awards, including First place in the Hasselblad Masters, a competition that I had followed with admiration since I first picked up a camera. A list of winners filled with the best photographers in the world. When I found the email in my spam folder, I just couldn't believe it. I mean, this can't be real. I had won the Hasselblad Masters in the architecture category. A phone call with Hasselblad in Sweden confirmed it. For days, I walked around in a daze, confused, overwhelmed, but with a permanent grin on my face. How had I, out of 70,000 photographers, managed to convince the jury? Winning the Hasselblad Masters changed my life in many ways. But the most important lesson I took away from it, trusting myself and my work. Recognition from an undeniable institution, judged by some of the best photographers in the world, cracked open the shell of self-doubt I had carried for years. The secret to finding my style had been inside me all along. It was in my passion for photography, architecture, and the raw beauty of nature. So strong that I could shoot for 18 hours straight, unable to put the camera down. It was in my obsession with night photography where the world transforms into something surreal. It was my urge to shape my surroundings through light, using LEDs, flashes, and long exposures to bring my vision to the life. These were the elements I had been drawn to for over a decade. I just never realized that they were the foundation of my personal style. Think about the greats. Gregory Crutzen has spent his entire career photographing the small towns where he grew up, telling his own stories, rooted in personal experience. Joey Lawrence fell so deeply in love with Ethiopia that he moved there from New York and built his life around photographing its culture. This level of passion and commitment is what truly defines a photographer's style. Inspiration, education, and technology are important. They equip us with the tools to bring our vision to life. But the essence of our style, it's already inside us. So, what can I pass on to you from my journey? Follow your inner voice. Photograph as many personal projects as you possibly can. At the end of the year, take a step back and look at your body of work. Ask yourself, what subjects fascinated me the most? What were my favorite images? And what techniques did I use? Which lighting conditions gave me the best results? And what kind of editing do I naturally gravitate towards? Learn, experiment, and seek inspiration. But understand this, you won't find your style in a YouTube video, a blog post, or even a new camera. That's tough to accept in a world where every question seems to have an instant answer. But for something as personal as your own style, there is just no shortcut. Keep going, despite the doubts, because who knows, maybe your award-winning photo series is just one project away. Want to master fine art photography or get the most out of your Hasselblad system? Check out my photography trips and one-on-one online workshops at albrechtvoss.com. You can own a limited edition fine art print from this series, available on my website as well. And if you haven't already, make sure to sign up for my VIP Club newsletter for exclusive content, early access to new workshops, and a free monthly wallpaper download. Want to boost your chances of winning photography competitions? Check out my last video where I share 5 strategies to stand out in contests. And in the next episode of Behind the Shot Hasselblad Masters in the Alps, I reveal the ultimate Hasselblad X2D travel kit that helped me capture the series in the extreme conditions of the Alps. Now I'd love to hear your thoughts. Which photographer has influenced your style the most? Let's chat down in the comments. Until then, have fun shooting and see you next time.